Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is LouAnn and welcome to my kitchen. That coffee is a brewing, and you know there's some sweet iced tea in that icebox. Well, today is back of label recipe today. What am I making for you today? I am making you something out of this back best recipes from the backs of boxes, bottles, cans, and jars, which is a back of label recipe. I don't remember what year this book was out. Anyway, so we are making green bean bake. Um, and I'm going to give you a little history real quick on what it says. Uh, okay, this book was published in 1979. It says in the 60s, Campbell's Kitchens introduced this all-time favorite green bean casserole. It's an inspired combination of creamy sauce, green beans, and crispy onion rings. So that is what we're having tonight. Green bean bake, which this recipe is a little bit different than all the other recipes I've seen. So let me turn the camera around. Let's make this green bean bake. So this recipe is a little different than your typical green bean bake. It uses a teaspoon of soy sauce. So we need to add a teaspoon of soy sauce, our cream of mushroom soup, and I do have 1 can, half a cup of milk, and we need to mix. Oh, and then I need to add a dash of pepper, which I'm going to do that real quick and add this cream of mushroom soup, and then we got to get this all mixed in. All mixed together. Now we need to add our green beans, which this recipe calls for frozen. I'm using canned because it is what I got. And it says to add half a can of the crispy onions, but the can of onions is probably about 3.5 ounces, but I got a package of 6 ounces. So now we need to mix these in. Mix all this yummy goodness in. And mix this all together, and then we will put it in our oven for about 25 minutes, and then we will be adding the rest of the crispy onions on top. So it's amazing that this recipe came out of the 1960s according to the book that I got, which was on the back of a label at one time, but it was on the back of a Campbell's soup recipe. So I'm going to put this in the oven for about 25 minutes, and then we will add more of the crispy onions on top. And you want your oven preheating at 350 degrees. So now we need to cook this for 25 minutes at 350 degrees before we put the rest of our crispy onions on top. Now we just put the rest of the onions, crunchy onions on top, and bake 5 more minutes, and it will be done.